Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we don't.
I'm Tyler,
And I'm Molly.
and we said we were going to start our 2023 year with a movie that was similar to the movie we started with last year. So we're going to be talking about The Lost World, the sequel to Jurassic Park.
Yes we are.
So, The Lost World, of course, was adapted from the book of the same name by Michael Crichton. His one and only sequel that he ever wrote was The Lost World.
Interesting.
Now, so as faithful as the first Jurassic Park movie was to the book, it still took some liberties with it, with adapting its source. So, what do you do when you take a movie sequel to a movie that already took adaptations and then make a sequel to that? You get something that's even more further from the book than its predecessor was.
I have read Jurassic Park, but I have not read the second one.
So the first Jurassic Park book is better than The Lost World, in my opinion, at least.
Okay.
There are some things that the book does better than the second one does better than the first, which is the case for both the movie and the book.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on the whole, first movie and book are better than the sequels.
Yeah.
Now, this movie is about Ian Malcolm coming back from, returning from his adventures in the first movie to try to help rescue some dinosaurs off of Isla Nublar, Site B, the other island that InGen used where they actually grew the dinosaurs before taking them to the park. And because his nephew has taken control, not Malcolm's, Hammond's nephew has taken control of InGen and is basically trying to squeeze out every last drop of money from these dinosaurs until before, so that he could save the company. Not really a bad motive from the bad guy. So you can't exactly call this guy the villain entirely because his motive isn't that bad.
Yeah.
He's trying to save his company. He's trying to save the hundreds, if not thousands, of employees who rely on this job for a paycheck. And yeah, his methods are a little bit, a little greedy, and a bit, dehumanizing of the dinosaurs. But he's got to do what he's got to do. So Malcolm and his team have to go in and take pictures of the dinosaurs to show the public that these things exist, so that Hammond can get the public support needed to, keep doing his thing.
Yeah.
And Hammond just happened to have sent his girlfriend, Sarah Harding, to the island ahead of time because he knew that Malcolm wasn't going to want to go back to this island of dinosaurs. Well, not back. This is a different island from the one in Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows he doesn't want to go back to her. It's dangerous.
Yeah, let me clear that up because the way you said it was a little confusing. Hammond sent Ian Malcolm's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So Ian Malcolm would want to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he can go protect her, get her back.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's a little dirty, but it makes sense.
So, this movie, of course, stars Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm. And it was because of... I think it was because of Jeff Goldblum's popularity as Malcolm in the first Jurassic Park movie that Michael Crichton retconned his death in the first book.
Yeah, because I remember he died in the first book.
Yeah, he did.
So... I'm so sorry.
And even
breathe.
without that, Malcolm survived in the movie.
Yeah.
So I guess
he did. So
Crichton just like, he didn't die.
Yeah,
It's okay.
We'll just pretend he did not die in the first book.
And
he just.
And even one of Malcolm's first lines in the Lost World book is, "Reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated."
Yeah, definitely.
Also starring in this movie is Julianne Moore as Sarah Harding, Malcolm's girlfriend. Pete Postlethwaite as the best character in this whole movie, not named Ian Malcolm. Roland Tembo, the big game hunter who's here to hunt one of the tyrannosaurs, a male, a buck only.
Yeah.
How or why is his business.
Yeah.
Arliss Howard as Peter Ludlow, the kind of villain of this movie. Well, he is the villain, but he's the antagonist, not the villain.
Yeah.
Richard Attenborough returns as John Hammond. Vince Vaughn appears as Nick Van Owen, saboteur that Hammond sends with Malcolm to mess up the other guys' plans. Vanessa Chester as Kelly Curtis, Malcolm's daughter, who for some reason, one of the other characters in this movie is kind of, it was Nick who was kind of suspicious of this because Kelly is black, and I guess that means that she can't have a white dad. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
You know, he says to another character, "You see the resemblance? Like, my guy, what? That's a little racist, Nick. Just a little bit." Peter Stormare as Dieter. He's he gets one of the more memorable deaths in the series. Harvey Jason as Ajay, Tembo's best friend and hunting partner. Richard Schiff also appears as Eddie Carr, one of the more unfortunate deaths in this series. Mm-hmm. Also, Joseph Mazzello and Ariana Richards return as Tim and Lex from the first movie.
Yeah, but they're only in it for like 2 seconds.
Yes, well, that's still more than they were in it in the Lost World book.
Oh.
They were not in the Lost World book.
Ah, all right.
Anyways, so when we were watching this movie, you said that you hadn't really seen, the ending of this before.
Yeah, I think to me, this is one that I never really watched in the past. I just kind of watched the first one and then the third one, and this was just kind of one that got skipped for me. So I was much more unfamiliar with the plot and what really happens.
Yeah. I actually watched this a lot when I was a kid. For some reason, I watched this one more than the first movie. I don't know. I just think that I like the jungle aesthetic and just the overall more wild vibe of this one compared to the first one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's probably it, though. I just like that it was a more of a jungle adventure, even though the first one was too. All right,
I'm sorry
settle
that
down.
I
Settle
haven't
down.
coughed all day until right now while we're recording. I'm sorry.
You suck.
I'm so sorry.
So, what did you think of this?
It's okay. It's not my favorite Jurassic Park movie, but it's still an enjoyable movie to watch.
Yeah, it's the third best Jurassic Park movie, I think. Just coming after the first one and the first World. Everything else just below this one, I think. But again, I do really enjoy this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like boring or anything. It's just
this movie's never boring.
No.
There's just a lot of quite a few characters in this movie that I just don't care for whatsoever.
Yeah.
For one, we have Sarah Harding, who is just annoying. Like, nothing against Julianne Moore. She's doing a fine job in this movie. It's just her character is just such a know-it-all. I can't stand her.
Okay.
And this isn't necessarily a problem of the movie either, because the book Harding was similar to this too, except less so.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Also, actually that was the only one. Never mind.
Okay.
But what else? Oh, so like I said, this movie is a bit different from the book. In the book, there were two teams going on this island after dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. The team with Malcolm included himself, Sarah Harding, eventually. She came late to the island instead of her being there first.
Yeah.
Character Richard Levine, he did not appear in this movie. Another character, Dr. Thorne, he also did not appear in this movie.
Oh.
Eddie did appear in the book and the movie. Jeez.
I'm so sorry. I can't. I don't know
Calm
what's
down,
happening.
woman.
I can't control it. Just have a cough.
Anyways, so yeah, the Levine and the there's nothing of a Levine character in the movie. You know, he's this rich jerk who, well, he was forced to teach out of school because he had community service because he was going like 100 in a school zone in his car.
That's not good.
And but Eddie is kind of similar to his book counterpart. He's the tech guy in the book, as he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Dr. Thorne was also involved with the actual tech in the book as well, but he's more or less combined with Eddie in the movie.
Yeah.
Also in the book were two kids, not just one. One of them was named Kelly, and another was a kid named Arby. Now,
Arby?
yeah, you know, like the meats.
All right.
Anyways, so Kelly in the book was white and Arby was black. So for the movie, they combined them.
Oh, all right.
And in the book, neither of them were Malcolm's kids.
Well.
You know, they were just, they were actually Levine's students.
Yeah, it sounds like this one is quite different from the book.
Oh, if you think the good guys are different, you should hear how the bad guys are different.
Oh my! All right.
Now in the book, on the bad side, we have actually Lewis Dodgson from the first book and movie, as you know, in the Peter Ludlow position. Then he only has two henchmen, Howard King and a George Basilton, who kind of take up like the Dieter Stark and not necessarily the Roland Tembo role, but just they mostly they're just his goons, more or less. Now they're going to the island to steal dinosaur eggs.
Oh.
So you know they're still there to take dinosaurs, but now in the book, George Basilton, I believe, was eaten by one of the tyrannosaurs when they tried to steal eggs from the Rex nest.
Oh.
And he got eaten by one of them because they thought that if you stand still, the T-Rexes won't be able to see you because their vision is based on movement. That is not a thing.
But it was in the first movie.
It was in the first movie, and sort of in the first book, but it's weird. Like
that's just confusing.
Like there's other factors involved with the T-Rex not being able to see some of them in the first book. In the movie, sure, yeah, T-Rex can't see you if you don't move. Okay, whatever. But in the books, no, not necessarily.
All right.
And so, and even in real life, scientists have found out that T-Rexes had some of the best vision in the dinosaur kingdom.
So you'd get eat.
Yeah, you'd get eat.
Yeah.
So that happens, and throughout all of that, they accidentally break one of the baby T-Rex's legs.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was similar to the movie.
Yeah.
And while we're in this area, I'd like to say just how great the baby T-Rex animatronic was for this movie.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Like this thing, I have no problem believing that that's a real animal.
Yeah.
It's, you know, its movement is perfect. Its skin texture great. That's a dinosaur there.
Yeah, it really does look really good.
And also when it comes to dinosaurs, there's a lot more going on with the designs of the dinosaurs in this movie. You know, there's more details here and there, like scarring or, you know, broken plates or whatever on some of the other dinosaurs, because these are wild animals.
Yeah.
You know, so they've had some time to live and fight with each other. So there's going to be a bit more damage with these ones.
Yeah.
Anyways, now Dawson's other goon, Howard King, he gets chased down and ripped apart by a pack of raptors. And one of the raptors actually, well, because King had a candy bar on him when he died, the raptor took the candy bar from him and started eating it.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of a dark comedy in this, you know, big old pack hunting, mass murder of this one guy.
Yeah.
Now, Dodgson actually dies similar to Ludlow in this movie. He gets the one of the adult Rexes breaks his leg, and the baby Rex eats him. But in the case with Dodgson, he actually gets, you know, dogpiled by a whole bunch of baby Rexes.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a little bit worse for him, or maybe better, depending on how quickly he died.
Yeah.
But that's whatever. Now, this I said that Dieter has a pretty one more memorable deaths in the movie series.
Yeah.
That's because this man gets dogpiled by a whole bunch of tiny little comps like Nathuses. You know, just absolutely death by 1,000 cuts. It's poor guy, but he was kind of a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't really explained in the movie at the time, but it was explained in the books that the compies had like a sort of venomous bite. So that's why they were able to take him down so easily.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, recently it was explained in on the Netflix show Camp Cretaceous that the compies have that. So I guess they had them back during Time of the Lost World too. So I'll accept that.
Yeah.
And Eddie, my guy. Well, for one, I think he got a little bit better in the movie than he did in the book. In the book, he got, you know, mauled by a pack of raptors.
That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, they were attacking him, Arby, and Kelly on top of the high hide, and they, you know, just pulled him down and just ripped him apart.
Oh.
Here it was a little bit quicker. He got he got wishboned by the Mama and Papa Rex.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, he's half the man he used to be.
Yep.
But, you know, overall, a little bit quicker than in the book. You know.
Yeah.
Poor guy though. He was just doing his best to rescue these idiots and Malcolm from their own hubris. Well, I mean, a little bit. They did take the baby Rex. They did not break its leg to begin with, though. But they did try to help the baby Rex. They did help it, you know. So I don't know. I don't like Sarah, and Nick's kind of stupid too, if we're being completely honest.
All right.
So I feel like I was somewhere before all this started. Where did we get? How did we get here?
No idea. No idea.
Oh yeah. So a lot of people like to. They're not sure which one is worse, this one or 3. Now with the release of Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, that conversation has shifted to those two. But before the World movies, you know, it was like, okay, which one is worse, this one or this one? And a lot of people said this one for some reasons. One of which being Kelly taking out a raptor with gymnastics.
That was a weird scene.
That was weird, but you know what? There's been much worse moments in the Jurassic Park series since then, so I'm not even gonna fret about that. There's, you know, most of the people in this movie being stupid. You know, like, you know, there's Kelly, there's Sarah, there's Nick, there's most of the hunters that Ludlow brought. You know, so okay, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
They are a little bit out of their element, you know, but you know that's to be expected. You're hunting dinosaurs. No one on Earth is prepared for that.
Yeah.
And you know they're coming in with their big guns, like, yeah, we got this, and then it all goes to hell in a handbasket, so to speak. But honestly, I really like this movie, and three too. I have a soft spot for three, even though it does have its problems.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it again before I give you a good opinion on that one.
Well, if we'll get to that at the start of next year.
Okay.
So, who was your favorite character in this movie?
That's kind of a hard one for me because I guess I'll probably just go with Ian Malcolm because he's cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I'm going to say someone aside from Ian Malcolm because that's too easy.
Okay.
I'm going to say, Roland Tembo. You know,
Alright.
he's this big game hunter. You know, he's a relic of the past.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's still ready to kill a T-Rex. Just like, yeah, T-Rex is back. I'm down.
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool.
And they actually, they took out a scene because it would have made him too sympathetic.
What was that scene?
It was the scene where Ajay comes to see him to offer him the job of going on this safari with InGen, and he's in this tropical setting or whatever, and there's a table of all these jerks harassing a waitress, touching her butt and stuff, trying to get her to stay and whatever, but
Okay.
and so Roland's like, hey, leave her alone, guys. You guys kind of suck. And so the leader of them is like, he's kind of a alpha male Andrew Tate kind of guy.
Okay.
And he says, I'll beat you with one hand tied behind the back. So Roland has one of his hands tied behind his back, and the other guy's like, no, that's not what I meant. And then Roland kicks that guy's ass with one hand tied behind his back.
Okay.
Like, he gives the guy no chance to get him at all. It's not even fair.
Nice.
But it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It sounds pretty awesome.
And I also like his I like that he succeeds and also fails in his hunt as well. Because on the one hand, he isn't able to actually kill the T-Rex because Nick, the idiot, sabotaged his gun by putting in spent shells.
Yeah.
But he also gets to hunt it down and tranquilize it. So
It's kind of.
he still hunted the beast. He still bested it. So he has his victory.
Mm-hmm.
But he also lost his best friend to the raptors in the long grass, which I gotta say that was a great scene with all these hunters going to the long grass, and then we see the raptors coming in behind them. We don't see them. We just see the grass going down as they go through.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Cool. And it's a pretty hollow victory because he got what he wanted more or less, but was it really worth it?
I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't think so, because when Ludlow offers him a job at InGen, which again, not that bad of a guy if we're being completely honest. Tembo just gets out of there like, nah, I'm just gonna go home.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all deal with this. Now Tembo tranquilizes the male Rex, and he gets brought to San Diego for their park there.
Yeah.
And that leads to
that doesn't end well.
No, but it leads to my favorite scene of the whole movie,
which is
the Rex in San Diego.
Nice.
Just
Mm.
if whatever faults this movie has, and there are some, this is not one of them. This is great.
It is fun to watch a dinosaur run around town.
Yeah, we get a dinosaur causing havoc in the jungle, and we get to see it do that in a setting that a lot of us can identify. Because I mean, honestly, at the time this movie came out in '97, I was living in San Diego at the time, and I didn't watch the movie then because I was 2.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make no sense. But
But you were there.
I was there. And it's funny because there's also a group of Japanese tourists, I guess, who scream in Japanese, "We left Japan to get away from this."
That's hilarious.
So Godzilla is canon in the Jurassic Park universe.
Yes, yes. That's what I gather.
But that, you know what makes that funnier though?
What?
In the movie Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, there's a scene where they go back to World War II, and Steven Spielberg's dad makes a cameo. Like, he's a character in the movie.
Okay.
The wires are crossed all sorts.
That's interesting.
Best to not think about it too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this ending scene with the Rex in San Diego, amazing, perfect. I wouldn't change a bit of it. Nope, nothing. Can't think of anything. Well, maybe one thing.
What?
So, when the boat gets there, called the SS Venture, which is a pretty neat reference to King Kong.
Okay.
Because the boat in King Kong was called the SS Venture.
That connects, yeah.
Yeah. So, the boat crashes into the dock. All the crew's dead. But like, how though? T-Rex was still in the cargo hold. There was dead bodies in places where the Rex couldn't have gotten. So how did they all die?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Now, there was actually originally supposed to be raptors on the boat, which would have explained that. Yeah, that's how that happened.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's still a thing is unknown, but there's three possibilities. Either one, the Rex killed the raptors, the raptors fell over, or the raptors are in San Diego.
Okay.
But we don't get to see any sort of thing, so who knows? Maybe the raptors were there.
Running around San Diego. No one saw them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which these raptors had a pretty cool design with like the orange and the tiger stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see that in the first one. We didn't see it in any of the raptors in any movies past that. So, and these raptors weren't in this movie for very long either.
No, not really.
Yeah, so I would have liked to see more tiger stripe raptors, honestly. They look pretty cool. What about you? What was your favorite scene?
If I'm going to be honest, I cannot pinpoint any scenes from this movie. I know you really like it, and I'm sorry that I just didn't have the same reaction to it. But like you said, I did like the T-Rex rampaging through the city, but I also liked the baby dinosaur, the baby T-Rex. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, that, like we said, that was a really cool animatronic.
Yeah, that was fun to see.
Is there anything more you have to say?
Not really. As you can tell, I feel like I've only said 10 words this whole video, but I am not feeling well, and you pretty much you paid more attention to the movie than me, so you got it.
I've also probably seen it more more when I was like 8 than you ever did when you in your whole life.
I think I may have watched it all the way through probably once or twice, honestly.
And this is one of those.
Yeah. So,
there is one more thing I would like to mention though.
What?
I feel like John Williams' score for this movie is is pretty underrated.
Yeah.
Because there's the Jurassic Park theme from the original.
Yeah.
We get that, but he also takes a more adventure-y jungle sort of route with the score while they're on the island, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll listen to this at work because it makes things a bit more fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me, but
I'll have to revisit the songs. I didn't really pay attention. I cannot recall them.
So this is our first review for the year, and like we said, we're going to be going through that collection of 4K movies we have over there and over there. Kind of alphabetically. It's
We'll see we'll see what happens.
Yeah, some of these we're going to be combining with like others, like for instance, we have Army of Darkness, but we have the other Evil Dead movies all the way in the E section. So probably just going to combine all the Evil Dead movies in one review.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or something like the Captain America movies, or the Monsterverse, or Star Wars, or what have you.
Yeah. Monsterverse.
Yeah, you know, Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that's going to do it for us. We'll catch you guys next
See
time.
you next time.